Geeky2909 back for another episode of Reading the Wrong Way. So I received a request from a user named Daria Stoica, and I hope I pronounced your name right, asking me to show you guys my manga collection. Like most enthusiasts, I'm very proud of my collection and display it in the best way possible with the space I have available. I have some photos showing my displays, and then I'll go through and touch on each manga in my collection, along with a few special geeky decor pieces that help bring my collection together. So buckle in for a rather lengthy video. So we'll start real quick with my anime collection, since I already did videos on that during the summer. I organized them alphabetically by title. I've separated out my Studio Ghibli movies so that I can easily grab them anytime I want. On the left side, I also have two of my favorite American cartoon series, How to Train Your Dragon, Riders of Berk, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. As for geeky decor, I have these 3 chocobos that I bought a while ago from the Final Fantasy series. I have the Reading Chocobo, the Black Mage Chocobo, and the White Mage Chocobo. You can find them in specialty stores, or you can get them online through retailers like Amazon and eBay. I got this fairy in a bottle, which hopefully you can see with my computer glare, made from perler beads at the convention I went to this year from a shop called 8-Bit Pixel Visions. They have a lot of adorable creations, from 3D fish bowls featuring Cheep Cheeps and bloopers from Mario, potted piranha plants from Mario, jewelry, and flat pieces from classic video games. I'll leave you their website in the description box down below. I just recently bought this Japan figure from Hetalia that recites quotes from the anime voiced by the original voice actor Hiroki Takahashi.
お風呂はいいですね。大変お忙しい中、お時間を頂戴しまして恐縮に存じます。
These are available through Blind Box, so there are various characters and you won't know which one's inside your box, and each one recites 2 quotes from the anime. You can find them online, but they are a bit expensive, especially due to the voice being included. If you have a store near you that sells anime merchandise, I'd suggest you check there first. I bought mine for about $12, just to give you a price reference. Usually the ones I've seen online are anywhere from like $20 to maybe $50. And that's just for one character, that's not for a set. So if you want to get this series, just be careful where you buy it and make sure you're getting a really good deal on it. I bought these Jack and Sally Kubrick figures online a while ago. They're from The Nightmare Before Christmas, if you didn't know that. They're similar to Legos, but they're marketed toward a more adult audience, so they're more meant for being displayed. And I also made this little Zero figure out of polymer clay to go with them, since he's my favorite character from the movie. Now moving on to the manga. I have my manga in 2 separate areas. I have a main bookcase for the bulk of my collection, and a smaller series of containers that hold ongoing series and short series. I arrange my manga predominantly by genre, with the exception of 2 shelves. I would prefer to have my books standing upright, but I lack that room currently to do so. For some longer series, I have them stacked both in the front and back rows. On the top shelf, I have my Alice in Wonderland collection. It's one of my favorite literary works, and I have yet to be disappointed by any of its print editions. The first book is one I just picked up last weekend at Barnes & Noble's. It's a beautifully color-illustrated version of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. All of the inside illustrations are done by Robert Inkpen. It's hardcover, so it's very durable, and the print is quite large. The second book is the Barnes & Noble's edition of the series, which includes both Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, as well as John Tenniel's original illustrations. You can find both at Barnes & Noble's or online. For my manga, I have the 3 omnibus editions of Alice in the Country of Hearts that were released by Yen Press. After that, I have all of the spin-off series that have been published so far, arranged by what country they take place in. If you read this series, you know that after the main series, it kind of branches off into a bunch of spin-offs that take place in 3 different countries. If you don't want to collect all of the different books that have been released, I would suggest focusing on the characters that you felt most about. So there's one featuring the Mad Hatter, there's one featuring the Cheshire Cat. So that would be my advice as far as collecting it if you aren't like me and want to look at what all of them have to offer. So starting off, we're going to go with The Country of Heart, which includes The Clockmaker's Story featuring Julius, Volume 1 of the Mad Hatter's Late Night Tea Party featuring Blood Dupre. This is the newest one that was just released. My Fanatic Rabbit featuring Elliot the March Hare. So all of these ones take place in the Country of Hearts. After that, we move into the Country of Clover, including Ace of Hearts featuring Ace, The Bloody Twins featuring Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and all 7 volumes of the now completed Cheshire Cat's Waltz featuring Boris. And lastly, we move into the Country of Joker, which only has 1 series so far, Circus and Liar's Game, which has 3 books out right now. Eventually, when I no longer have room with my bookends, I'll be placing some of my not-so-favorite volumes in the back, such as Ace of Hearts. If you're an Ace fan, wait until next year when they're going to be releasing another spin-off series with Ace in it, which is hopefully better than this one turned out. At the end, I have the Are You Alice series, which is a very unique spin on the classic story. As far as my bookends are concerned, they're part of the Disney Traditions collection by an artist named Jim Shore. He does pieces inspired by American folk art and quilting and includes everything from Disney to angels to holiday pieces, so there's something for everyone. I'll leave a link to his website down in the description box below. You can buy the pieces from there, Amazon, or QVC, where he usually offers exclusive pieces. I have Alice sitting down, the Mad Hatter kind of pointing. I have the Cheshire Cat, of course, tilting his head just so slightly. And from this year's D23 Expo, I have the Cheshire Cat in one of the spinning teacups from the theme parks. If you don't like the Disney version of Alice, he also did a few pieces based on John Tenniel's illustrations. The next shelf down is dedicated to Clamp, my favorite manga artist group. Their arrangement is a little unique to the rest of my collection. I have the longest 2 series, Tsubasa and XXXholic, in the front, so there's enough room for all of the volumes. I have all 28 volumes of Tsubasa, as well as the 2 character guides that go along with it. And I also have all 19 volumes of XXXholic, which, if you watched my Clamp specials, you'd realize this is my favorite series. So I also have the character guide that goes with that, as well as the novel Another Holic. In the center are my favorite feel-good manga. They're series that always make me feel better after reading them. I have the 4 gigantic omnibus versions of Cardcaptor Sakura, all 3 of the Clamp School Detective volumes, as well as all 4 volumes of Wish. Behind them, there isn't really a rhyme or reason as to where I placed the series. It was more a matter of how much space I had available, while trying to fit them, as well as leaving room for some other titles that I'd like to add in the future by Clamp. So on top of all the extra Tsubasa volumes that didn't fit, I have all 8 volumes of Chobits. And after the character guides is a series called Shirahime Seo, which I'll discuss in another video. There's probably definitely going to be a Clamp Part 3, since I've gotten so many series since the first 2. Unlike Clamp's other works, this book features short stories focused on a theme, and the artwork is reminiscent of brush-style paintings of Japan's past. After that is the Legend of Chunhyang, which will also be in that other video. If you've read Tsubasa, you may recognize her from there. Underneath Chunhyang is the omnibus edition of Clover, followed by the completed omnibus editions of both Tokyo Babylon as well as its sequel X 1999. After that are 2 series that I will also be putting in that other video. The 3 volumes of Legal Drug that are out here. Apparently this went on hiatus and they're now re-releasing it in Japan under a different title, so who knows where this series will go. As well as Clamp's debut series with all 10 volumes of R.G. Veda. The next shelf is dedicated to Shonen style manga. These are manga that revolve around fighting, have physically strong and determined lead male characters, and have art styles with thick lines. So for Shonen manga, I have all 20 volumes of Black Cat. I have all 14 volumes of Dragon Drive. And I have all 28 volumes of Rurouni Kenshin. I also have Volume 1 of Full Metal Alchemist, just Volume 1, so that I can take it to conventions to get autographed. On this shelf, I also have for decor 2 random little plushies that I really like, a cola-flavored ramune bottle. If you ever get the chance to try this flavor, it's really good. And I also have a random little Bakugan toy, just because. You know, why not? The fourth shelf is mostly dedicated to shoujo manga, with a few exceptions. These are series that focus on romance and relationships with very soft lines and beautiful characters. So for shoujo manga, I have Le Corps de Oro, volumes 1 through 17, and I also have Il Gatto Sol G after it. Now this series is an adult Shonen Ai manga series that I fell into on accident. If you'll remember from my previous videos, using the Western definitions of yaoi and Shonen Ai is a series that focuses on romance between male characters, which generally omits sexual content, though it may be implied. The main focus of the series is about the main character's career and his difficulties coping with multiple personality disorder, as well as 2 separate love interests. If you guys want me to review this series, leave a comment down below. I know there isn't much information about it online, so if anyone wants, I'd be more than willing to do a review on it. Next is Hetalia. I have all 3 volumes, and I already pre-ordered volumes 4 and 5. Those will be released on December 10th, and the first run will include several colored pages. After the initial run, the volumes will go to print on demand through writestuff.com, which I will include a link to in the description box down below. Following that are 3 special foreign volumes of manga some friends of mine brought me from their travels. I have Inuyasha Volume 1 in Japanese, as well as Inuyasha Volume 18, which is one of my favorites, and I also have Naruto Volume 37 from France. After those, I Am Pushing the Cat, which I just got a few weeks ago. You may have seen her comments on Facebook, Twitter, and her homepage, pushing.com. This book is basically a collection of some of her best comics, and it's just a really quick read that's a really good kind of pick-me-up sort of book. I then have some random English books. I have the completed Tales of Beatrix Potter books. She did Peter Rabbit and like Squirrel Nunkin, Benjamin Bunny. You might have read them when you were a little kid, as well as a matching Peter Rabbit plush, of course. You guys know me and my plushies now. And I also have a few books written by a man named John Gardner. I have Nickel Mountain and The Sunlight Dialogues. So behind all of those, and getting back to the manga, I have Tagami Bachi volumes 1 through 15, which is what's currently out right now. And I also have Dawn of the Arcana, which I just did in my Halloween episode. I only have volumes 1 through 6. There are actually 11 out right now. So if you're looking into purchasing it, just be aware that it's a little farther ahead than what I'm at. On the bottom shelf is mostly art books as well as the Cirque du Freak series. I've already spent a lot of time on the Cirque du Freak series, so I'm going to breeze through this one real fast. I have all 12 of the original books in different formats because I couldn't find all of these ones available at the time when I bought them. I think the last 8 are all from a small box set. So there are a lot of options if you want to get this series. I also have all 4 of the prequel books featuring Larton Crepsley, and the 12 manga volumes that I had in a separate video. On the little shelves, I have Siren, which will stay there until its publication is complete, and then probably move to my Shonen shelf. On the bottom are some of my shortest series that just seem to fit there really nicely, including The Earl and the Fairy, Juju, Pre-Tier, Two Heart, and Dramacon. So I think that's about it for my manga collection. I hope you've enjoyed this video, maybe seen a few series or items that interest you. My books are in no way organized the way I'd most prefer them to be, but something to keep in mind with any hobby is that you have to use the space available to you. See you next time!
When I was given freedom, all I did was plead. When I turned back, there was nothing to see. You closed your doors before I could open mine. Now I know, now I see, it was a